Good evening. So my name is Crystal Moreno. I'm going to be discussing social media and the impact on businesses. So upon doing my research, I came across social media management, which is pretty interesting because before doing this project, I never really thought about how social media management came into play. But the article started with a job application that was, or a job search that was done on monsters.com for a social media manager. And this was back in 2011. And, that was new to the to any organization to have to develop a department dedicated to social media, because up until then it wasn't, there was MySpace, there was Facebook, but then really Facebook, Twitter, and now Instagram and Snapchat. There's all these different media platforms that an organization has to be on in order to be known. Pretty much, if you're not on there, nobody's gonna know who you are. I thought that was really interesting. Pretty much every organization at this point may have started setting up a social media management department, or already has one. And so social media management essentially is the collaborative process of Web 2.0 platforms and tools to accomplish a desired organizational goal. There's a few things that make up social media management. These are the competencies that you would need to have in order to have a strong social media management team or department. So you need to have brand awareness and brand reputation. You need to have strategy development. You need to be able to review analytics and be aware of that. And lastly, creativity and collaboration. So jumping right into brand awareness and brand reputation, we all know brand awareness is a consumer's knowledge of a brand, or the proportion of consumers who know a specific brand. So maintaining presence on social media and brand awareness is essential to creating positive relationships with followers. Followers are those that are following a specific brand, right? In this example, I'm speaking about 30 Rock. So 30 Rock is a series on a network. The network decided to create a Twitter profile and a Facebook profile for this particular series. And when they were promoting the show, they would simply tweet out the episode that's coming up, or tweet out something that happened on the last episode, maybe make it a hashtag. They would tweet it, or they would share it on Facebook, and without doing much other than putting it on their own website or tweeting it, they then were able to touch a bigger audience, because it then showed up on their followers or their friends' profiles, and then the friends of the friends and the followers of the followers. Then if they shared it or if they tweeted it, that's just a bigger audience that you're captivating and you're touching on. So that's important for a company to be successful with social media and making sure that they're using it right. Another thing is brand reputation. So brand reputation, a few different things come in mind. For me specifically, it's, if I go to a restaurant and I have a bad experience and I put it on Yelp, I put it on Google, and I put my review in there, it speaks volumes when someone from the company acknowledges that comment. Whether it's good or bad, it's important that if they're watching it, then that means they care about their reputation, and that means that they will, take that into consideration, take it back as feedback to become better, and so that they know that their customers are valued and that their experiences are also as valued. As we move along into strategy development. So strategy development, you see here SWOT analysis. We all, as business students, understand SWOT analysis, but more and more companies are taking the SWOT analysis when it comes to social media to understand the strengths and weaknesses understanding what trends and needs are out there for the survival and growth on Web 2.0, which is caused by like the feedback that they get from customers or followers or friends on Facebook or whatever. But it's also, when it comes to legal things like understanding the legal climate would help an organization know where they stand and whether they can be on social media or not on social media. It's important to understand that, especially like for myself. I work for Bank of America, and working for a financial institution, there's only so much I'm allowed to post on social media when it comes to Bank of America. So I have to be mindful of, as an employee of the bank, but also as someone who speaks. People look at me and probably think, oh, that's a representation of Bank of America. So I have to be mindful of what I'm putting out there. So is the company educating me on how I'm putting myself out there, whether it's on LinkedIn or I'm putting something on our Twitter page, because Bank of America is on Twitter, is on Facebook, and all that stuff. So I have to be mindful of what I'm putting out there to make sure that it's not damaging to the organization's reputation as well. And strategy development is also important that it's aligned with the business. So like everything, having business model, having your values and all that, it's important to make sure that those align with the organization itself. So when it comes to analytics, this is what I think is the coolest part of being a business on social media, because you can see what is going on social media. You can see how many times is this retweeted, how many times is my picture liked, how many times is my video shared through Facebook or through YouTube. It's important to understand that so that you can see whether you're doing something right or you're doing something wrong, so that you can catch it in time to fix it, or if you can anticipate needs and trends that your followers or friends are telling you, you're able to get on top of it. It's interesting that this slide says 85% of the businesses, or they use it because 85% of businesses use social media because they want to build brand business exposure or product awareness, which is what we just said. That's like the number one reason why a business would be using social media, and why it's so important that they are actively on there and they have a presence, because it's one thing to just set it up, but it's another thing to be constantly, how many times do I post? Do I post this many, 1 to 2 times a week, or is it more like 3 to 5 times a week? Like, what is the right amount? And so you got to know. And the only way to know is to trial and error, or get a consulting firm that can give you they know the number of proper tweets that you should be doing weekly, and Instagram posts that you should be doing, and how many times you should be visible on Facebook. They tell you everything. 69% say that they use it to increase traffic on e-commerce or websites. I mean, how many times do you see commercials come up or anything like that promoting something? Well, it's a little ad that comes up on your Instagram or on your Facebook. That's to increase traffic to their site. It's them trying to get you to get onto their site. And then lastly, 65% of them use it for marketplace insight, which is, we're the consumers. We're the ones wanting to see or hear or, purchase whatever. So they want to make sure that they understand, what we want and what we need. So it's an opportunity. It's a platform for them to get that information. And then lastly, creativity and collaboration. So here we're going to talk about a little bit about the brand reputation again also, because it's I think it also, being creative is not just posting something that's entertaining and fun and appropriate to the content, but also making sure that if we have someone within a social media management department responding to blogs, maybe they're assigned to respond to all the 1 star or 2 or anything below 3. We have someone responding and acknowledging those. Got to be creative when you're responding, because sometimes people are upset and they're just posting whatever, or sometimes the claim is legitimate, and you got to be creative when it comes to responding, because you're going to respond to them and everyone else is going to see on that same blog what's going on. And then collaboration, I mean, it goes without saying that you have to talk between all departments within a company to be successful as a whole. One department can be doing XYZ and the other department not be on anything, not doing anything. Everyone has to talk to each other in order to be successful. So that's what that's when collaboration comes into play. Working with each other, sharing tools, sharing best practices. This is how we're doing here. Like, let's go, based off the analytics, analyzing the data. This is because maybe someone else is analyzing that. Maybe it's not the social media department. Maybe someone else is analyzing that, and then they could carry it over and say, hey, this is how we can do things better. So out of today's presentation, I hope that you walked away with the things that really will impact a business, and how social media impacts businesses, and what they're doing to grow and survive on Web 2.0. Keep in mind brand awareness, brand reputation, strategy development, analytics, and creativity and collaboration. Thank you. Have a great day.